Hmm. So, are you making this mistake when giving value on social media? That's what I'm going to talk about today. This is really, really important because forever and a day, well, I don't know how long you've been learning how to build a business online, but it gets drummed into us all the time. Give value, give value, give value. But there is a mistake that you could be making around giving value. And I want to warn you around this mistake because we don't want to waste our time on social media. None of us want to do that, do we? When we come to social media, we want to be really effective and genuine and authentic and attract as many people as we can in our target market so we can build an amazing business. Does that sound good? So that's what we're going to talk about today. So welcome to the live. If you're joining me live, please say hello. Let me know where you are watching from today. Interested to know what parts of the globe we reach. But I do want to remind you, because this is my last live video of the week, next week is a pretty cool week. I'm going to be doing my free Reels Bootcamp. So for 4 days, roughly up to about an hour on each of those days, I'm going to be teaching you all about Reels. So, the strategy behind how to do them well, the different elements of it, how do you create successful ones, where do you find the best trending audio, like all of that kind of stuff. I'm delivering that all next week. So if you are currently watching from my business page or YouTube or Instagram, I will not be live on any of those places next week. I will only be live in my free social media Facebook group, Delivering the Bootcamp. So where you can get all that information, if you're hearing about this for the first time, is go to helenmartinonline.com/Reels Bootcamp. So it's on the screen if you're looking on Facebook, on YouTube. If you're on Instagram, just go to helenmartinonline.com/Reels Bootcamp to register, and you'll get all the dates, the details, access to the workbook that we're going to use for the 4 days, like all the information that you need, the link to the group that you need to be in if you're not already in that group. Even for those of you that are already in the group that the bootcamp is going to be delivered out of, please make sure you register, because if you don't, you're not going to get the workbook. You're not going to get any of the notifications of when I'm going live. You're not going to get the replays sent out to you after I finish every day. All the updates and stuff like that. So make sure you are registered. So I'm excited for that bootcamp. That's a bit of a different, schedule next week, if you like. But I hope to see as many of you as possible, participating in that. The videos for the bootcamp will only stay up for a week. So you really want to try to join me live. But I know there's people like in the UK and other countries that can't join me live because it's not at a time that's friendly for you. So you can still catch up with the replays for a week, okay? And then they're all coming down. Unless you're one of my coaching community members, they're going to be uploaded onto the members website so you guys can have continued access for that. But register. It is completely free. I'm going to give you a whole lot of amazing information. I haven't done this bootcamp for almost 12 months, and there's a lot that changes. If you hadn't noticed, that it's, times change very quickly on social media, which can actually be a bit frustrating. Do any of you spend time learning something and then 5 minutes later it's changed? Or you finally work out how to do something on your phone or your computer and then something's changed again. So things are evolving and changing all the time in social media. So it's important to bring yourself up to speed, with what's working, here and now. Okay. So let's get back onto topic. Thank you for all saying hello and joining me live. It's great to see you here. So giving value is something, I'll just take that off the screen. Giving value is very, very important with building on social media. If you just show up and sell all the time about your products and your business opportunity and you're really hard on that, and you push that a lot, you will lose people because people get sick of hearing it and they feel like you're pushing them into something. When we give value, we gain people's respect. So if you give, really good tips, you give out education in your niche market to your target market, people start to respect you, they'll start to follow you, and you're giving them a reason to come back. If people are just keep pushing their products, the name of the company, the name of their products, and talk about their products and hold them up all the time, and that's all they ever do, people do switch off because there's nothing in it for them and to learn from. So people will come back to people on social media that they find interesting or entertaining or that they learn something from. So this is where giving value fits in. When you're giving value and you're sharing, useful information, entertaining information, educational information, empowering information, people will want to come back and watch you more and more. So amazing. But what's the mistake around this? What do you think? Do you have any ideas about one of the biggest mistakes is around this? And I'll share it with you anyway. But here's what I'm seeing a lot of. People are doing a lot of training with, you've got to know your target market, you've got to know your niche area, and you've got to solve a problem for people. So people have, that are learning to build a business online are doing a lot of training, target market, niche market, all that kind of stuff, and give value around that given. But some people are taking it way too far, and you're teaching a lot of things. You're giving a lot of education. You've even mastered AI and you're using AI to give you a lot of information that you can deliver so you sound half intelligent. But you've completely lost yourself in that process. Now, what do I mean by that? Your personality, your voice, your story, your uniqueness. So what's required in 2025 to be successful online is, yes, you still want to give value. We don't ever want to stop giving value and giving out useful information for people to learn from. Even if it's just one little tip that they get from you that's like, oh, that's really useful. I'd never really thought about that before. Or, yeah, like they're really talking to me when they're sharing that. Like, that's really useful to me. If you can have people that watch you and they get those kind of thoughts when they listen to you speak, amazing. But learn to give that value, that education, even entertaining type, content around your story, what it means to you. How did you come to learn that, know that? When you implemented what you're sharing, what has it done for you? How have you helped others with it? Like, where's the story behind it? The other thing is your face and your voice is so, so, so important. And when I say your voice, I don't just mean literally your voice talking, reading from notes, looking down. I've got a whole lot of educational information that I've got from AI. So here's my 10 tips to, lose weight without being a slave to the gym, blah, blah, blah. And this is my 10 tip. And number 9 is, and yeah, that's your face and your voice. But there's no story. There's no genuine personality behind that. There's no authenticity behind that. So where I'm seeing a lot of people go wrong with giving value is they're so wound up in giving value that they've lost their own personality. You can do too many posts and Canva created type content and infomercial type images. So you're giving value. So you're sharing a lot of valuable information. But one, where are you? Where's your story? Where's your journey? And the other thing is, you can give value, yes, but we are in a relationship business in social selling and network marketing and direct sales. A relationship with a human being, not a relationship with a Facebook page or a personal profile or an Instagram that's full of infomercials and stories and blogs and quotes and things like that when there's no person behind the brand. You are your biggest asset. Your smile, your quirkiness, the words that you say, the little things about your personality that no one else has. The things that you do wrong that people laugh at, that you laugh at as well. I mix up my words all the time because I talk a lot all day long. I'm on Zoom calls and trainings, and my brain thinks faster than my mouth sometimes. So I'm already saying something that my brain is, my brain's already gone forward and my mouth's still saying something else. It's just, the way that I am. Some people laugh at me saying I have my own dictionary because I just kind of make up my own words. It's just part of who I am. But it took me a while to let the walls down and come out of that corporate Helen Martin, that general manager that I was in the corporate world with a suit on every day, lobbying politicians and, managing a workforce and all those kind of things. It took me a long time to, take that suit off, if you like. I don't mean like literally, like I might have been in different clothing, sitting in a chair like this, whatever. This is nothing fancy. This is just a canvas. It's just a picture on the wall. Like it might look professional to you, but it's just a picture on the wall. Like just, letting my hair down and finding, my own groove with things and, my own little brand and just relaxing into that and letting you guys know Helen. A lot of you here I would have never, ever met before, but you probably know my husband's name's Paul. You probably know I've got 2 boys, teenagers. You might know Zach's just finished school. You might know Zach rides motorbikes. You might know I have a pug called Harley. You might know I've come out of corporate. You might know a little bit about my story. You might know, I changed companies recently, ranked up 5 times in 5 months, loving that journey. Like there's things that you know about me and my journey and my story. So to teach what I teach with you guys, I share my story with that. And that's what kind of gives me credibility, but it also gives me relatability with you guys. I'm in the industry building with you. So I often talk about what's working for me and what's not working for me in my business because I can relate to you and you can relate to me. So while I'm sharing with you educational things and I'm always trying to teach you something and give you guys value, and hopefully I do, put the word value in the comments if you've ever got any value from anything that I've trained. Here for you. I hope you've learned something along the way from me. But I do that by sharing a lot of me in that, a lot of my personality. I laugh at myself. I'll talk about my dog or my kids or my story or corporate or, whatever. So I'm always weaving in my personality and who I am and my story and my journey and the things that happen in my world while I'm giving you guys value. So to recap, the mistake that you don't want to do with giving value is you end up being too clinical while you're giving your value and you totally lose you. Your biggest asset is you. Your smile, your face, your personality. So don't hide behind social media. Don't hide behind something like Canva. Don't hide behind quotes. Don't hide behind, posts that are, top 10 benefits for, whatever, like that kind of content. And even if you do show up and do something like live videos, don't have notes. Like I have notes with every single live video that are just sitting in front of my computer here. I never turn up live without notes, ever. But I never read them word for word. I've got handwritten notes for every single live that I do. And I'll glance down and have a look at them and find my sort of trigger, and then away I go again. Sometimes I don't actually even look at my notes much. I'll just think, oh, what is it that I like? Get back on track, Helen. Okay, what else did I want to say? So I'll glance down. But I'm sort of talking with you. Now, that might take a little bit of practice. Some of you might not be able to just talk freely like I do, but that's just because I've done more live videos than you. It doesn't mean I'm any smarter than you. I have any, extra credentials than you. I've just done live video probably longer than you, so I'm more comfortable with it. And I'm more comfortable with just ad-libbing from, a few notes, if that makes sense. So it's just practice. But what I would be practicing in 2025 is chilling out a bit, showing up more, showing up in your stories and talking in your stories, showing your face more, but, speaking so people can hear your personality and get to know the person that you are because you weave in your story while you're giving value. That's really, the trick here is weaving in you and your story and your life while you're giving value. So if you're just so hot on giving value and teaching, and I guess that's the difference here is, you're talking at people instead of talking with people. So if you get nothing else from this video, just remember that. Don't talk at people, which is just teaching. Just giving value, teaching on your, particular topic of choice versus having a conversation. And I know that can be a little bit weird because you can go live and there can be, like, there's a number of you watching now, but I can't see you. But I honestly feel like I'm having a conversation with you. And that's the way you want to treat your live videos and how you show up on social media. Have a conversation with your audience, not at your audience. You're not a teacher at the top of a classroom talking at your audience on social media. You're having a conversation with. So you share, you ask questions, you engage, even if nobody's watching, because nobody knows on a replay that you didn't have anybody watching live, like a live video example. Nobody on a replay knows that you didn't have anybody live. So if you've even got a big fat 0 on your live video, you still want to ask for engagement. You still want to try to have a conversation with your audience while you're giving value, because somebody on the replay might answer that question after the fact, after you're live. The thing about live video is that most, particularly on Facebook and Instagram, most people will actually catch the replay rather than being on with you live. Like, the amount of people that just happen to be sitting on the other side of the screen when you go live, is very minimal. So a lot of people will catch the replay. So again, even though you've got a big fat 0, watching you live in this example of live video, you still want to have a conversation with your audience, even if you're talking to yourself. So treat your little camera, this little thing here, or, on the phone up there, you treat that like there's an audience on the other side of that. Or even better yet, just one person. If you can pitch your content like you're talking to one person, then, your audience will really feel that connection and like you really get them. So we don't want to use words like, I'm going off a bit of a tangent here, but you don't want to use words like, hi, Facebook friends, hi, Instagram. We don't want to talk to people generally. We really want to treat our audience like we're having a conversation with one person. So just remember, while you're giving value to your audience, don't hide behind static posts, quotes, Canva, so you're not showing up at all. So you might need to show up a little bit more. Maybe you need to show up a little bit more in your stories. Stories are amazing for people to get to know, like, and trust you. And you know how this goes. People buy from people that they know, like, and trust. So while you're learning to give value and give great content that people want to come back and listen to you over and over again, do that within your personality, you showing up, your story, your journey. You've got to weave that in while you're giving value, because people don't need us really anymore just to teach to them, because we've got Google and AI and YouTube and everything else in between. People can get all the answers that they need from Google, YouTube, AI, etc. Why would they come back and listen to you? Is because they like the way you deliver the message. They just like your vibe. They like your personality. They like your smile. They like your story. They like your, the way that you chat with them on the other side of social media. So if all your content is crafted content and you're not showing up, going live, doing reels, showing your face, that's not going to work anymore. Your engagement is going to fall flat. You're going to end up creating so much content for not much gain. And that leads to burnout and lack of results and probably leaving the industry. So we don't want that for you. So the quicker you can learn to show up more from your face and your voice, but not only your face and your voice, you can do that and just read your personality, your story, your genuineness, your authenticity. You are your biggest asset. There's no one on the planet exactly like you. And that's your biggest asset. Okay? So is that helpful? Like, I know you've probably heard that before, but it needs to be said again, and you may need to hear it again. Let the walls down, and while you're delivering value, make sure people are getting to know you, and have a conversation with your audience, not at your audience. Stop teaching, some of you, and just, you may be giving amazing value, but they can go and get that from Google or YouTube or AI. Like, why do they need to listen to you deliver the same message? It's because it's you. You're cool. Okay? So I really hope that's helpful. have a real good think about that, how you can show up a little bit differently and a little bit more genuinely, authentically, and share your story and your personality while you're giving value. Okay? Now, I'm just putting back up on the screen for those of you watching from, Facebook, YouTube, and just for those of you on Instagram, I'll just say it. Join me next week. This is my last live video of the week. So join me next week on the Reels Bootcamp. It's completely free. You're going to learn a lot. So, I know it takes time and it's another thing that you have to fit into your day, but I'm doing it for free. So don't take that for granted. You're lucky to get all that kind of information and training for free. Okay, so go to helenmartinonline.com/Reels Bootcamp. And, pass that on to people in your team if they need help with Reels to join us on that bootcamp as well. So helenmartinonline.com/Reels Bootcamp. So I'm really excited that next time I come live here, just in my group, not on all the other platforms, next week to deliver that Reels Bootcamp. So I hope to see all of you on day one of the Reels Bootcamp. Next, it'll either be Monday or Tuesday, depending on your time zone. So if you're in like US, Canada, it'll be Monday afternoon, evening. Australia, New Zealand, it'll be Tuesday morning. UK, late hours or early morning. Yeah, somewhere in between. Anyway, when you register, all the times are on the on the link there. Okay, so I will see a lot of you on day one of the Reels Bootcamp next week. Bye.